What you are facing won't last forever. Life has a beautiful way of teaching us that nothing is permanent, neither joy nor sorrow. Sometimes we face storms so fierce that they make us question our strength, our purpose, even our faith. But here is the timeless truth. This too shall pass. What feels overwhelming today will one day be a story of resilience and growth. The problem may feel huge now, but its power over your life is temporary, not eternal. I remember meeting a young man who had just lost his job. He felt hopeless, thinking this was the end of the road. But he didn't give up. Slowly, he focused on learning new skills, improving himself quietly, and applying patiently. Within months, he found an opportunity far better than he imagined. Today, he smiles and says, "I couldn't see it then, but that struggle prepared me for something bigger." Life often works this way. Pain becomes preparation, obstacles become stepping stones. Another example is of a student who failed an important exam. Initially, disappointment weighed on him like a mountain. Yet, instead of giving up, he started working on his weaknesses step by step. Years later, he became a mentor for others, guiding them to overcome failure. What he faced didn't disappear immediately, but persistence and faith turned temporary hardship into lifelong wisdom. Struggles are not walls. They are bridges if approached with patience and positivity. Remember, storms teach lessons that sunshine never can. They teach gratitude, resilience, and humility. They remind us that comfort is temporary, and so is discomfort. Pain is not punishment, it is a message. Every challenge carries hidden opportunities if you are willing to see them. When you understand this, fear reduces, hope increases, and courage rises. From the ashes of difficulty, it is also important to stay present. Often, we magnify problems by imagining worst-case scenarios in the future. The mind makes small challenges appear insurmountable. Instead, focus on what can be done today. Solve what is in your control and leave the rest to time and effort. Every action, no matter how small, moves you closer to overcoming the storm. Faith and patience are inseparable companions in hardship. Faith gives you hope that things will improve. Patience allows you to endure while they do. Like a river cutting through rocks slowly but surely, persistence shapes outcomes. Even when you cannot see the light, trust that the tunnel is leading somewhere. What you face today is temporary. The growth it gives is permanent. So take a deep breath and remind yourself, storms don't last forever. Challenges, failures, and difficulties are chapters, not the entire book. Face them with courage, learn from them with humility, and move forward with faith. One day, you will look back and smile at what once seemed impossible. Life will continue and you will emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Life is a journey of ups and downs. The challenges you face today may feel endless, but nothing in life is permanent. Just like clouds cover the sky temporarily but eventually move on, hardships are meant to pass. Yet, the lessons you learn, the resilience you build, and the strength you develop remain with you forever. Growth lasts long after pain disappears, and wisdom gained during struggles becomes an invisible shield for the future. Consider the example of a student who failed multiple exams. Initially, he felt defeated, thinking failure defined him. But over time, he analyzed his mistakes, worked consistently, and learned new strategies. That failure became a foundation, not a setback. The exams he struggled with are long forgotten, but the habits, patience, and focus he developed continue to guide him in life. Hardship was temporary, growth is lasting. Many people forget that hardship is a teacher in disguise. Pain, loss, and failure are uncomfortable, but they reveal strengths you never knew existed. A wound may hurt briefly, but it triggers healing, learning, and adaptation. Similarly, when life challenges you, the discomfort is temporary, but the emotional and mental muscles you develop endure. Every challenge is an investment in long-term growth, even if it feels like suffering at the moment. Hardships also teach empathy. People who struggle deeply often emerge more compassionate toward others. When you face difficulties, you gain perspective on the struggles of those around you. That understanding is permanent, Unlike the temporary discomfort of the hardship itself, your heart expands, your relationships deepen, and your capacity to support others grows because of what you endured. Pain passes, but empathy remains. It is natural to resist hardship and wish it away immediately. Yet, those who embrace it quietly often emerge stronger. Think of an athlete recovering from injury. The initial pain is intense, but rehabilitation strengthens muscles, improves endurance, and refines technique. The temporary struggle produces permanent improvement. Similarly, life's challenges are not obstacles alone, they are tools for growth that last far beyond the moment of difficulty. Hardship also teaches humility. Success without struggle can inflate ego, but challenges remind you of your limits and push you to rise above them. That humility shapes character permanently. Every person you admire, leaders, teachers, or achievers, has faced hardship. Their temporary struggles shaped their permanent wisdom, patience, and perspective. You too are being molded through what seems difficult today. So remember, the pain you feel is transient, but the growth it produces is lasting. Every hardship carries within it a seed of strength, learning, and resilience. Face difficulties with courage, endure them with patience, and reflect on the lessons they teach. When the storm passes, you are not the same person. You are stronger, wiser, and better prepared for life. Hardships fade, but growth stays forever. Life tests everyone at some point. Challenges often arrive suddenly, making us feel powerless. But patience is the quiet strength that prevents us from reacting impulsively. And persistence is the steady force that keeps us moving forward. When combined, they turn difficulties into stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. A temporary obstacle becomes an opportunity when faced with calm perseverance rather than frustration or haste. Consider a young woman struggling to secure her dream job. She faced repeated rejections and criticism from peers. Many would have given up, but she stayed patient, continued learning, and applied consistently. Months later, she succeeded, and the position she earned was better than she had imagined. Her persistence converted rejection into preparation, while patience kept her focused and resilient. Challenges became opportunities because she refused to quit. Patience allows us to see the bigger picture. Often, immediate failure feels like the end. But with time, perspective emerges. What seems like a loss today may reveal hidden lessons tomorrow. When we persist through difficulties instead of abandoning them in frustration, we discover strengths and solutions that were invisible at first. Challenges are temporary. Patience and persistence make their rewards lasting. Persistence is not just action, it is disciplined, consistent effort toward a goal. Life rarely rewards impulsive bursts of energy. The river carves through rock, not through force, but through persistent flow over time. Similarly, when we face obstacles, consistent effort, even small daily steps, creates results that sudden actions cannot achieve. Patience ensures we don't burn out, while persistence ensures we keep moving forward. Patience also cultivates emotional balance. Challenges test not only skills but temperament. Reacting hastily often worsens situations. By waiting calmly, thinking clearly, and responding thoughtfully, we prevent mistakes and preserve peace. Persistence complements this by ensuring we don't abandon our purpose despite delays or setbacks. Together, patience and persistence protect both our mental clarity and our forward momentum. Every challenge carries an opportunity for growth if we allow it. When patience tempers frustration and persistence combats discouragement, the lessons embedded in hardships become visible. We develop problem-solving abilities, confidence, resilience, and creativity. These are opportunities that could never exist without the struggle itself. Challenges transform into gifts when approached with these qualities. So remember, no difficulty is permanent and no effort is wasted. Patience allows you to endure. Persistence allows you to progress. And together, they turn temporary hardship into lasting opportunity. When life challenges you, remain calm, act steadily, and keep move, ing forward. What seems like an obstacle today may become your greatest advantage tomorrow. Challenges fade, but lessons gained through patience and persistence remain forever. Life often feels overwhelming because we spend too much time worrying about things beyond our control. We imagine worst-case scenarios, anticipate criticism, or fear failure before it even comes. This mental activity creates unnecessary stress. The truth is, anxiety cannot change outcomes, but deliberate action can. When you focus on what you can control, your effort, your attitude, your response, you regain power over your life and reduce needless fear. Take the example of a student preparing for an important exam. Instead of panicking about possible failure or what others might think, he focused on consistent study and understanding his weak areas. By directing energy into what was actionable, he increased his chances of success. The imagined fears, doubt, embarrassment, or comparison never materialized into reality because he concentrated on preparation rather than worry. Focusing on control also nurtures clarity. When your mind is flooded with what-ifs, decisions become clouded. By identifying what is within your influence and acting on it, you simplify life. You can't control the market, other people's opinions, or unpredictable circumstances. But you can control your effort, your choices, and your response. This is freedom disguised as focus. Many people get stuck in fear because they constantly replay negative possibilities. This mental loop consumes time, energy, and confidence. But when you act on what you can control, fear loses its grip. Action creates momentum. Even small steps matter. A kind word, a completed task, or disciplined preparation. Momentum gradually reduces anxiety and opens doors that seemed blocked by imagined obstacles. Control also teaches responsibility. When you act on what you can manage, you own your outcomes. You no longer blame circumstances or people for failure. Instead, you focus on improving your performance and learning from every result. This shifts your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. Fear diminishes when you know you are doing your best within your sphere of influence. Sometimes patience is part of control. You may not be able to change external factors immediately, but you can control your response and your preparation while waiting. A farmer cannot control the rain, but he can prepare the soil, sow the seeds, and nurture the crop. Similarly, in life, focusing on actionable steps reduces anxiety while increasing the likelihood of success when the timing is right. So remember, fear exists only when you give it attention. Focus on actions you can control: your effort, your mindset, and your choices. Let go of imagined outcomes, uncontrollable circumstances, and others' opinions. When you do this, challenges become manageable, opportunities become visible, and inner peace emerges. What you can control is your greatest PAW. R. What you cannot is your teacher in patience. Faith is the quiet companion that carries you through life's storms. When everything seems uncertain, believing that things will eventually work out gives courage to keep moving. Faith is not blind optimism. It is trust in your inner strength, in the lessons of life, and in the possibility that challenges are temporary. When combined with perspective, the ability to see beyond the immediate difficulty, faith transforms fear into hope and struggle into growth. Perspective allows you to step back and see challenges in a larger context. A problem that feels insurmountable today may appear small when viewed from the vantage of experience. For example, someone recovering from illness may initially feel despair, but looking back later, they often realize the ordeal strengthened their resilience and patience. Faith keeps them moving, and perspective reveals the hidden value of their struggle. Many people give up too early because they judge hardship only by its immediate discomfort. Faith helps you endure, knowing that time brings change. Perspective helps you interpret events not as punishments, but as opportunities to learn. Together, they shift your mindset from why me to what can I learn from this. This shift turns suffering into a teacher rather than a tormentor, and each struggle becomes a stepping stone. Faith also inspires patience. When outcomes are delayed, it is easy to feel hopeless. Yet, those who maintain faith and view challenges as temporary find strength to persist. A student who fails repeatedly but trusts their effort and sees failure as feedback develops persistence, resilience, and skill. Struggles do not vanish immediately, but faith and perspective allow growth to occur quietly, preparing the foundation for long-term success. Perspective nurtures gratitude even during hardship. When you realize that life's difficulties are universal and that everyone faces trials, personal pain feels less like punishment and more like shared experience. Faith reassures you that every difficulty has meaning, and perspective teaches you that lessons gained are gifts. Together, they prevent despair and transform hardship into emotional and spiritual strength that lasts far beyond the moment. Faith and perspective also enhance problem solving. When you approach challenges with calm belief in your capacity and awareness of the bigger picture, solutions become clear. Fear clouds judgment, trust and perspective clear it. Many great achievers and leaders credit their success not to luck, but to their ability to stay faithful and maintain perspective during setbacks, using struggle as a teacher rather than a barrier. So remember, struggles are temporary, but the strength you gain is permanent. Faith reassures you, perspective enlightens you, and together they transform challenges into opportunities. Life may test you, but with trust and insight, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Every difficulty is a seed. Faith and perspective are the sunlight and water that turn it into enduring strength.